Did you know that when you die and go to heaven, you don't become an angel? And how could I possibly know this? My name is Dakota Lee. I was born with a gift to see beyond, to see the world beyond this physical one. And it's just gotten stronger as I've gotten older. I saw my first angels when I was 8 years old. I saw Jesus for the first time when I was 10 years old. And when I was 12 years old, God did something amazing with me. He started inviting me to come up and visit heaven. And man, do I have a lot of stories to share. But this one is so interesting. People assume that if you're in heaven, you are an angel. And angels are very real, but they are a different class of creation than human beings. And I'll tell you the first time that this was really cemented for me. I was 12 years old. God had been letting me come to visit heaven for a few months, and I would visit for, I don't know, sometimes a trip as short as just a few minutes, sometimes hours long. It really depended on my schedule as a middle schooler. And if mom was calling me to dinner or if I had homework that I needed to complete, and God was always really good with me about integrating into my life and not just taking it over and messing things up with what he wanted me for me and what he wanted me to see. So when I first started visiting heaven, I saw the throne room of God. And I have another video about what that looks like. When we started venturing out from that, I was actually walking with God, and he was so tall to me. When I first started seeing God, I was about the size of a toddler if he were the size of a huge football player. And he's only gotten bigger as I've known him more and more. And Jesus always looks the same. Well, there's a few differences, but he is always the same size in a person. But my perception of God, as my perception of God grows, who I see as God also grows. That being said, I was walking next to God, and we were walking out of the throne room and walking across a field, and I could see at a distance this really beautiful, a city that was just kind of shining. Like, even the buildings itself seemed to emanate a light, even though I couldn't see necessarily a light bulb. And I saw people. And before I could even point them out, because God knew I was seeing the people at a distance, and he said, Dakota, those are saints. And I look at him and I go, all of them? And God goes, yes, I want you to call them saints. If they are here, they are a saint. Now, this is different than what the Catholic Church calls saints, which are only a handful of people. For God, if you believe in God and you surrender to him in the way that Jesus showed us how, then you are a saint, and that's where you go. But they are different than angels. So if you're interested, I can talk more about angels, and I just have so many stories to share. But you know what? Here's really the nugget from this, even though it's kind of cool to know that. What I want you to understand is that God doesn't make a human being an angel when they get to heaven because he values you as a human being so much. He doesn't need you to change into some perfect creature that is an angel. He already sees you in perfection that is of his doing, not of your doing, of his doing. He doesn't need to change who you are. His love perfects you as you are. And that's kind of I don't know, one of those, what's the word? A paradox that God is really fond of and he loves to show us. So I hope this helps you see your own value the way that God sees you.